Alright, so it looks like Buffalo's off-season fire sale has officially begun with them dealing Rasmus Ristolainen to the Philadelphia Flyers. And in return, the Buffalo Sabres acquired Robert Hagg, a defenseman, a 2021 first-round pick, that's 14th overall from the Flyers, so that's a pretty decent pick for Buffalo to pick up. So now they got 2 first-round picks in the top 15, so that's a pretty good move by GM Kevin Adams, in my opinion. And they also get a 2023 second-round pick out of the deal as well. And for Philly, they're building a pretty decent back end, and I know a lot of people like to rip on Ristolainen because of his underlying numbers and stuff like that. But look, I think this guy's a very solid defender. Not maybe as far as playing defense goes, but I think he can produce a solid amount of offensive numbers, especially with some of the weapons that Philadelphia has up front. He could really explode points-wise this season. And also they added Ryan Ellis to the Flyers too, so I think with those two guys on the back end, they're going to be looking pretty solid on defense as far as producing offense from the defense goes anyways. And as for Robert Hagg, I don't think he's going to ever be as good offensively as Ristolainen, but with that being said, GM Kevin Adams, as I mentioned earlier, he picks up the 14th overall pick from the Philadelphia Flyers, plus a second-round pick in 2023. So for Kevin Adams, I mean, maybe he could trade that 14th overall pick to get a decent player, a top 6 forward perhaps, or maybe he keeps it and he drafts a good young player with it. So who knows, we'll have to see what happens tonight. And for me, it just feels like Ristolainen's been traded for a long time now, even though Buffalo prior to today was the only team he had ever played for, because I feel like there's been rumors about him being traded for like, I don't know, 3-4 years now maybe. I think that's a fair amount of time. And for Ristolainen, I think he's really relieved to get out of Buffalo. And no offense to the Sabre fans, but my goodness, I think Buffalo's been a real rough go for any player who's been there, especially if you've been a guy counted on to produce for the team. I think there's been a lot of weight on those guys' shoulders, especially guys like Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, who I think are probably going to get dealt next, or at least Eichel will anyways. But maybe Ristolainen really takes off in Philadelphia now because he's got the weight off his shoulders. He's out of that, for now anyways, a losing environment in Buffalo, and I think they will change that eventually. But it was a losing environment these past number of years, and for a young player like Ristolainen, like I said, I think it's a relief for him to go to Philly. And maybe he explodes offensively, maybe he doesn't, maybe the pressure of playing in Philadelphia gets to him and he plays terrible, who knows, we'll have to see. Because as we all know, Flyers fans do have a reputation for getting on their players, especially their star players, if they're underperforming, so Ristolainen better perform in Philly. And he's only 26 years old, Ristolainen is. It seems like he's been around forever. He started playing pretty early, I believe when he was 19, he broke into the league full time. So that's probably why it seems like he's been around a while. As far as winners and losers go, well, I'm going to actually declare Buffalo for now the winner anyways. Even though I like kind of what Philly's doing on their back end, I don't know if it's the right thing for them to do. I think they should be kind of getting some younger kids in there, get some prospects, keep your draft picks, draft well, stuff like that if you're Philly, because for them, I think they're not getting any younger. They just keep getting older guys now. Not that Ristolainen's an old guy, but I don't know if they should be going down that road of acquiring 26, 27-year-old players, because it's not like they're one Rasmus Ristolainen away from winning a Stanley Cup or something like that. I think Philly's days of contending for a cup are long over. I think they got to see the writing on the wall. Maybe it's time for a bit of a retool, a bit of a changing of the guard, so to speak. But for Buffalo, I like it. They get a first-round pick. Robert Hagg, he's a decent, solid defender. He should help them out defensively, you would think. And they get a second-round pick in 2023. So I think Kevin Adams and the Buffalo Sabres did pretty good for themselves today. But let me know what you all think in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.